discounting high and low for stories that make you laugh. I could do with a giggle. My erotic video, Russell How Hard, hasn't gone down as well as I'd hoped.
What the hell? Get out of here, darky! Ah!
I'm pretty sure Bill Turnbull's become a vampire.
Time now to get the news where you are.
Did you see somebody told Lady Gaga that Barack Obama was deaf?
Obama, I know that you're listening. Are you listening?
Has anyone else noticed how scary a school trip's getting?
We role play a working class Victorian funeral.
But John said we were going to Disneyland.
I'm just sorry to have to tell you that John has died.
I can't believe John's gone. Why?
Hey! You forgot to introduce me. I'm Colin, the talking ostrich.
What was I thinking?
Can't do a show without a talking ostrich, can you?
Now, I know there'll be people going, there is nothing funny about politics. Well, you obviously didn't see the recent conferences. Here are my highlights. Gordon Brown struggled at times to hold everyone's attention.
And let me say this also bluntly.
A Lib Dem MEP went crazy.
I hate the dirty, cheating...
Jeremy Paxman was really bored. I'm so bored. I can't wait to interview Boris Johnson, put my finger in my ear and sniff it.
Given the opportunity, they were denied by the Labour government.
Johnson, as ever, was on phenomenal form.
Manchester, one of the few great British cities I have yet to insult.
I'll tell you what, though, conference season brings out some strange questions.
I mean, didn't your mum ever tell you, if you lie down with dogs, especially mad dogs, you get fleas?
No one's mum has ever said that. Wake up, Russ. What is it, Mum? Don't lie down with a mad dog. And never give a cat a reach around. Genuine noise there of a cat being given a reach around. If you don't know what it is, it's when you masturbate from behind. It used to be called the trombone. David Cameron was heavily criticised. That probably won't stay in the show, just me. Well, it would be quite nice if at that point we'll then learn how clever cats are if they're just in someone's front room going, oh. So that's how you do it. David Cameron was heavily criticised for being in the Bullingdon Club when he was younger. These guys used to gorge, puke and smash up shop windows, but come on. We've all done stuff in our youth we're not proud of. This is me, aged 8. Somebody did a wolf whistle then. I was 8 years old. I'm 8 years old, you beast. Dress him up as a cat. Sarah Brown gave her husband the introduction of a lifetime.
My husband, my hero, the leader of our Labour Party, Prime Minister Gordon Brown.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? But imagine if they'd had a row. You know him as the Prime Minister. I know him as the man that puts my clothes on when I go to the shops. And trust me, that is awkward. So what have we learnt from the conferences? Everyone was offering change, the Tories are in the lead, and Labour got dropped by the Sun. Peter Mandelson was absolutely livid.
But what was I supposed to have said?
We used a four-letter word, the C word.
No, I said chumps.
So, further to the right, BNP leader Nick Griffin is appearing on Question Time.
There's extra security outside BBC TV Centre ahead of BNP leader Nick Griffin appearing on tonight's Question Time.
People are going, what if he seduces the nation? He won't. He rants on about keeping the bloodlines pure, but look at him. Who wants to preserve that gene pool? He looks like someone has stretched luncheon meat over a toad. He won't win us over. Have you actually listened to him?
No, there's no such thing as a black Welshman. You can have a black Briton, but you can't have a black Welshman.
Really? Colin Jackson, pretty black, pretty Welsh. It's very rare you get to say that and hold the moral high ground, isn't it? Colin Jackson, pretty black, pretty Welsh. We're just not going to vote for him, are we? Nobody's going to vote for the P. Do you see when he got elected as an MEP?
For a moment, they considered staying put. But as the eggs came in, Nick Griffin and his team took flight.
What was hilarious, the next day the Star newspaper challenged the nation to throw a chapati in his face. How brilliant's that? It's like they've gone, nice one, stage one, you've egged him. Stage two, curry. Stage three, poppadom. Stage four, strangle him with chow mein. And stage five, put him in a cannon and fire him to Mozambique. Racism has been everywhere recently.
Professional dancer Anton Dubek told his dance partner she looked like a Paki. Leila Ruas is half Indian. She'd just had a spray tan when the remark was made.
What an idiot! Now, regardless of the fact it's offensive, everybody knows if a woman's had a spray tan, she looks like this guy. Dubek, real name Tony Beak, apologised, and then this man stepped forward as our nation's racial czar. You see, a man who looks like a ball bag sprinkled with hay.
We used to have a sense of humour about this. You go back 25, 30, 40 years, there's always been a sense of a little bit of humour about the whole thing.
Too right, Bruce. What's it come to when I can't walk into a pub and shout the word darkie? You moron. I used to stick marbles up my brother's arse. I don't do it now. It's called progress.
At one time, you know, the Americans used to call us limeys. It doesn't sound very nice, but we used to laugh about it. Everybody has a nickname.
You've still got a nickname in our house.
Forsyth, he's a...
Right, here's the next bit. Now let's... Sorry. Now... Oh, sorry about that. Sometimes you get really nervous in front of cameras.
You've constantly said you can't comment on this situation because it was a Scottish decision, but how come MPs or the Prime Minister, who holds a Scottish constituency, can comment and also vote on matters that are strictly relating to England?
We all get like that, poor guy. Mind you, if you look carefully, you'll see what's making him nervous, but only if you look very carefully.
You've constantly said you can't comment on this situation because it was a Scottish decision, but how come MPs or the Prime Minister, who holds a Scottish constituency, can comment and also vote on matters that are.
Scientists have made a peculiar discovery this week. Apparently, sperm makes you younger. You can't help but think, what if scientists are just making this up to get more action with their wives? Oh yeah, sperm makes you look younger, eh? Does it, dear? Yeah. And I'll tell you what, love, if you want to improve your memory, anal. Really? Would I lie, darling? I'm a scientist. Fetch the lube. Do you know how they found this out? This is so horrible. They did research on mice. They must be the unluckiest animals in the world. First we grow ears on their back, and now we've got a scientist wanking on them. We think we've got a tough life. Pretty grubby, but if this story's true, teenage boys will no longer be looked upon as awkward filthmongers, but as selfless, life-giving gods. Have you got any teenage boys? Right, you, stand up. Oh, look at you. Like, hey! Suppose you have the strength to raise your hands. You're like, what's your name? Oh, Sean. You're Sean. Oh, these sounded terrifying. Oh, Sean. Stand up, Sean, right? Masturbating is good. It can, do you know what? Apparently, sperm can cure Alzheimer's. So, Sean, I want everyone to chant his name. He's a life-giving God. Sean, 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 Sean. You take that home, Sean. Keep going. You take that home, Sean. And you wank over your nan until she remembers who you are. Sean, ladies and gentlemen. What would have been awkward at that moment if Sean went, she's dead? It might bring her back to life. Don't do that, actually. That'd be repellent. What are you doing? Scientists, help me! Over in New York, a worried rabbi has come up with a unique way to protect his flock.
Meet Rabbi Gary Moskowitz.
And the guy comes out. But why is he urging them to use violence?
Why should we have to pray in fear? You can't be spiritual if you're dead.
You can't be spiritual when you're dead? Surely you're at his most spiritual when you're dead, in that you're hanging out with God. Not surprisingly, people have poked fun at him.
You've heard nicknames.
A lot of nicknames. Rambowitz, Rabbi Rambo, the God Squad. I don't know where people come up that think about these things.
I can't believe in the current climate that nobody went for the karate yid. Maybe he's not overreacting. Terror threats are getting pretty strange.
A new concern, Al-Qaeda terrorists are adopting a very dangerous and virtually undetectable method to smuggle bombs just about anywhere and then detonate them, hiding them inside their bodies, like drug mules are known to hide drugs.
I'm surprised you didn't wink at the camera and just go... Why are we worried? It's going to be fairly easy to spot. Bomb up your ass. I'll tell you what, right? If you were that suicide bomber, just before you detonated, you'd totally go, pull my finger. You'd have to. Now, some of you might be concerned, but fear not. Right here in Blighty, we've come up with the answer.
Over in the corner, a company that trains bees to detect bombs.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Hang on, but don't bees communicate through dogs? If a dog barks, you know there's trouble. With a bee, it's gonna be tricky. I don't understand. Where's the bomb? Seriously, Mr. B, I need to know. See, it's going to be impossible. Be happy. Britain has the worst quality of life, reveals new survey. Here we go, yet another report telling us how bad it is to live in Britain. Come on. We also have loads of tiny things that make this country spectacular.
Football chants.
Nobody does chants like the British. Scottish goalkeeper Andy Gorham was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and the next game, his own fans chanted, "There's only 2 Andy Gorhams."
Funny place names.
Driving along a wet wang, it's a good day, it's a good day. We've got loads in the West Country. Every place in the West Country sounds like a pervert. You picture them in a pub.
All right there, Chew Magna. All right, Farrington Gurney. Oh, he's off making a porno with Queen Camel along the way. Here, give us a go on that hammer.
With pleasure.
Oh!
Some of you probably think we made those names up. Think again. We have another thing in this country, probably my favourite thing in this country, and that's this.
Old people who don't give a shit.
Look at this brazen thief who was recently in the news.
Oh, look, a purse. Thank you. Good luck finding me, coppers. I think you find all old ladies look the same.
Right, now sometimes we have to search for the funny in the news. Sometimes it's staring us in the face. Look how many times this guy appears to be checking out her Rodneys. This is the part of the show I genuinely don't know anything about. There's going to be a mystery guest, someone who's featured in the news recently, and I have to figure out who that person is.
That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Pleasure. I don't really know where to begin, I'll be honest with you. Can you tell me what your day consists of? How would you start the day? You've got piercings, I noticed, as well. Straight away. Is there one on your tongue?
No.
Oh, because apparently... We'll chat about that
Just
later, right? Oh, we can go for that. Fantastic. Go on, so what's your day consist of?
What's mine?
Feels like I'm coming on to you. Tell me what your day's like. Do you want to what this original style?
I'm not telling you that.
You're not going to tell me about you. It's going to be fairly tricky to figure out what you do if you won't tell me anything about you.
Oh, well, I travel a lot.
You travel a lot?
Yes.
Okay. Where have you travelled recently? That might help me figure out who you got.
Barcelona.
You went to Barcelona. Has that got anything to do while you're in the news?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Right. Does anyone know?
Guess? Have another guess?
I will. Well, in the... Okay. It's like a pub quiz and it's just you and me in it. Whereabouts did you do this thing?
What, in Barcelona?
You were in Barcelona. Is that how you know?
I went to a convention.
You went to a convention in Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Were there lots of people there?
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing? What was the convention about?
Do you really want to know?
Absolutely.
Have another guess.
I haven't had one yet. Don't take... Whoa, that was amazing. All right, so presumably it's some sort of tattoo convention. Either that or you've been dipped in acid. There's a tattoo. What's going on here? This is all the... Whoa.
Oh, yes.
That's all right, I'm looking forward to it. Some music playing, which is nice. So... Can we stop the music? I'll be honest, this is without doubt the weirdest moment of my career thus far. It looks a bit like you've fallen asleep against a map. It looks lovely. I imagine...
I am the most tattooed senior woman in the world.
The most tattooed senior woman? Yeah. Wait. We've got a system. You could be the most tattooed woman in the world. We just have to kill off some young'uns. Can I draw one on you? Is that allowed?
No.
Oh, look at her now. I don't want to make a fool out of myself. Right. Well, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you. Please give it up for my topical guest. Fantastic. Well, this is mainly for the production staff. I'm going to put forward a suggestion. How about I have some say in who the mystery guest is going to be, right? Because that was a pensioner with bangers hanging out, and I've got to be charming with her. How did you? Where did you first get a tattoo? What's wrong with you people? Look on national TV with... It's the end of the world as we know it. It's me. So, what's been happening in America?
Barack Obama said he'll end the ban on people being openly gay in the U.S. military.
We should not be punishing patriotic Americans who have stepped forward to serve this country. We should be celebrating their willingness to show such courage and selflessness on behalf of their fellow citizens.
Which to any reasonable person makes sense. However, some people don't agree.
If the world was a gay world,
then it would end with the present generation, Mr. Long-Legged Mac Daddy.
What did you call the President of the United States?
Mr. Long-Legged Mac Daddy.
Did you call him anything else?
Mr. Phony Nobel Peace Prize winner, Mr. Fraudulent, Illegal, Alien, Fraudulent, Alleged President.
Why is it that bigots always think they're irresistible to gay men? Like they've been in Afghanistan and suddenly start banging their wangs against your gun. Stop it, Tony! I am what I am. So, in an attempt to stop homophobia, what exactly is Mr. Long-Legged Mac Daddy doing?
I believe Don't Ask, Don't Tell doesn't contribute to our national security.
Don't ask, don't tell means you can be gay, but nobody can ask you if you are, and you're not allowed to tell them. Now, I'm totally up for gays in the army, but that means you're left with must ask, must tell. And I don't know about you, but gay, straight, bi, I don't want to hear about my mate's sex lives.
Oh, you would have loved it, Russ. Me and the wife were going at it every position. We got doggy, her on top, me on top, in and out, in and out. And this dwarf joins in, there's a dog who's on the left. And there's a guy in the corner, he's got his nuts in some heels, Russ. And no one knows why, Russ. We're all laughing. We all start laughing, and then we just start banging again, really banging, really banging. Every position, you know. Oh, you should have been there, Russ. Do you want a biscuit?
No. People say gays will affect morale, but surely, if they're all shagging, they'll really look out for each other. Don't let Kevin die! He's a deep throater! He's got an arse like a peach! No! Have you seen the new exhibit at the Tate Modern?
Well, this is the latest installation at the Tate Modern. It's effectively a huge metal container. It's 15 metres tall and 30 metres long.
So in other words, a box. They haven't really thought this through. A big dark box, that's going to be an excellent hiding place for a pervert. I'm not a total Philistine. This week also marked the end of the plinth in Trafalgar Square, which I quite enjoyed.
Some people think I'm bonkers, but I just think I'm free. I'm just living my life, there's nothing crazy about me.
Bonker.
My favourite, without doubt, was the Loughborough girl who dressed up as a pigeon. It was funny because people were like, oh my God, it's wonderful. Are you highlighting how we can no longer feed pigeons in Trafalgar Square? And she went, no, just quite like dressing up as a pigeon.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the bees.
Now, this is a crime story about a robot. Can anyone guess what it's about?
Man groped a robot.
Good answer. That's the correct answer. How brilliant was that? And the way you said it, man groped robot. It's like you've been waiting your entire life to say that. I can handle this, lad. Stand back. This is my moment. You're right. A man in China was cautioned for groping a robot. Who gropes a robot? Are there blokes rubbing themselves against household appliances? Dirty fridge, sexy blender. Imagine what his Hoover looks like. You're safe now, Henry. We'll put a smile on your face again. Pretty weird, isn't it? Even weirder, look at this story. Farmer fined for failing to meet psychological needs of a cow. How do you psychologically damage a cow? Put up a poster of this fella. All Nor did they go up to the cow wearing a leather catsuit just going, "Where's your dad?" "That's right, I'm wearing him. Oh yeah, how'd you like that, 8 bellies?" Apparently it was neither of these things. It turns out he was keeping them in the dark. And by that I don't mean he kept rumours from them. Really? The cockerel with the sheep? Mercy. I mean, he kept them in the dark, right? It's difficult to see how darkness could be damaging to a cow. They're not big readers. Love the idea that they go, "Oh, lights out, brilliant. How the hell am I going to know who Kaiser Soze is? And how did I pick up a book with hooves?" I'll tell you what, though, if they're in the dark, that's going to be an excellent hiding place for a pervert. Right, did you hear about this?
It's a great story here in the Mail about dinosaurs. You know, we all think dinosaurs were killed by meteors or whatever. Apparently, Tyrannosaurus Rex, T-Rex, was actually wiped out, according to the Mail, by a sore throat.
Of course they did, you know? With the tiny hands they can't reach with a strepsil. Again, I'll get that. I have it. I die. We've also learned how our ancestors used to interact.
Scientists speculate that in this environment, males walking upright could carry more food, making them more attractive to females.
To be honest, this is still true. Do you know, we've also learned what happens when you have a near-death experience.
There was a very blackness, much blacker than any black on this earth. And I thought, oh, that's very black.
It's kind of black then.
And then the next thing, out of this blackness, the Virgin Mary just loomed. And I thought, oh, that's the Virgin Mary. And she just looked at me. And then I floated off and I went to this place. It was all white, all different shades of white.
But tell me, what vehicle takes you to heaven?
And there was a van parked. And I thought, that's going to take me to heaven.
A van? Is it really a van?
Get in the back of the van!
I'll tell you what, I would not want to be this guy.
A student has been charged after being photographed urinating on a war memorial in Sheffield. Philip Lang's accused of outraging public decency over the incident on Sunday.
What a tool. I say, as an act of revenge, when he passes his degree, we line up all the surviving members of World War II and we let them piss on him. Wouldn't that be great? Pass me the Volvic, Russ! Oi, Philip! Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? Should have worn your goggles, shouldn't you? The frustrating thing is that people read this story and go, one young person did something despicable, all young people are despicable. And it's not true. It's all part of this media bias to suggest that all young people are savages, which isn't true. Now, some of the stories in tonight's show have been a bit bleak, but this story puts your faith back in humanity. This young man helped solve a rape case and was offered a huge reward. Look what he did.
So, yeah, and they told me I was entitled to the reward money, but I gave it to the victim, really.
Why?
I didn't feel like I deserved it at all, and the state that the girl was in after the incident, I really thought it would go towards making her life a hell of a lot better than myself.
There you go. See, not everyone's a dick. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. See ya.
And Russell will be applying his positive filter to the week's news and show us the results next Thursday, same time, 10:30. Good work, Russell. Really enjoyed that. And stay right there for more comedy Griffin-style in the Family Guy Double.